Where did you come from? Not just your parents or your hometown, but where did everything come from? The stars above you, the ground beneath your feet, the very breath in your lungs. Before there was anything, there was God. And what He's about to do will change absolutely everything. We're going back to the very beginning, before history, before time itself. The book of Genesis opens with one of the most profound statements ever written. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But here's what makes this moment extraordinary. There's no struggle, no cosmic battle, no trial and error. God simply speaks, and reality obeys. Picture absolute darkness, not the darkness of night, but the absence of everything. The earth is formless and empty. Darkness covers the deep waters, and the Spirit of God hovers over the surface. There's potential here, but nothing has taken shape yet. Then God speaks His first words into the void. Let there be light. And light explodes into existence. God separates the light from the darkness, calling the light day and the darkness night. This is day one. Not a day measured by the sun, because the sun doesn't exist yet. This is something beyond our normal understanding of time. God is establishing the very framework of existence itself. On day two, God speaks again. He creates an expanse to separate the waters, calling it sky or heaven. He's bringing order to chaos, structure to formlessness. The ancient world is taking shape through divine command. Each word from God's mouth carries creative power beyond anything we can comprehend. Day three brings even more dramatic transformation. God gathers the waters together, and dry ground appears. He calls the dry ground land, and the gathered waters seas. But He's not finished. God commands the land to produce vegetation, plants bearing seed and trees bearing fruit. Suddenly, the barren earth bursts into life. Forests spring up, flowers bloom, and fruit trees laden with produce appear. Everything reproduces according to its kind, establishing the natural order that continues today. Now comes day four, and God addresses the darkness above. He creates lights in the expanse of the sky to separate day from night and to mark seasons, days, and years. The sun blazes into existence to govern the day. The moon appears to rule the night. God scatters countless stars across the heavens. These aren't just beautiful decorations. They're cosmic timepieces, navigational aids, and constant reminders of God's glory. On day five, God fills the waters and the skies. He speaks, and the oceans teem with living creatures. Fish of every imaginable kind dart through the waters. Then God creates birds to fly across the expanse of the sky. From the smallest minnow to the largest sea creature, from the tiniest hummingbird to the mightiest eagle, God brings them all into being. And here's something significant. God blesses them. He tells them to be fruitful and multiply, to fill the waters and the skies. Day six arrives, and God's creative work reaches its climax. First, He fills the land with living creatures. Livestock, creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals all appear according to their kinds. The earth comes alive with movement and sound. Lions roar, elephants trumpet, and countless species establish their place in creation. But then something different happens. God pauses, and we hear Him deliberating. Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness. This isn't a casual decision. This is intentional, purposeful, deeply significant. Everything else God created was good, but humanity will be different. We'll bear His image. God forms man from the dust of the ground. He breathes into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man becomes a living being. This is Adam, whose name means man or from the earth. God doesn't just speak humanity into existence like everything else. He gets personal. He's hands-on. He breathes His own breath into this creature. God places Adam in a garden He's planted in Eden. This garden contains every tree that's pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle stands the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river flows through Eden, watering the garden before dividing into 4 headwaters. This is paradise, a perfect environment designed for human flourishing. God gives Adam responsibility. He's to work the garden and take care of it. This isn't punishment or drudgery. This is purpose. Adam is a steward, a caretaker of God's creation. God also gives a command. Adam can eat from any tree in the garden, except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. When you eat from it, you will certainly die, God warns. Then God makes a remarkable observation. It is not good for the man to be alone. In a creation where everything has been good, here's something that isn't. God decides to make a helper suitable for Adam. He brings all the animals to Adam to be named. Adam exercises his God-given creativity and authority, naming each creature. But among all these animals, no suitable helper is found. So God causes Adam to fall into a deep sleep. He takes one of Adam's ribs and closes up the place with flesh. From this rib, God fashions a woman. When Adam wakes and sees her, he breaks into poetry. This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. This is Eve, and together they represent the pinnacle of God's creation. God blesses them and gives them a mission. Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. They're given dominion, authority, and purpose. They're to be fruitful, to multiply, to steward creation wisely. God surveys everything he's made, and he declares it very good. Not just good, but very good. Creation is complete, harmonious, and functioning exactly as intended. Adam and Eve stand in perfect relationship with God, with each other, and with creation itself. On day 7, God rests. He's not tired or exhausted. He rests because his work is complete. He blesses the seventh day and makes it holy. This establishes a pattern for all of humanity: work and rest, creativity and reflection, productivity and worship. Here's what this story reveals about you. You're not an accident or a cosmic coincidence. You're intentionally designed by a creative God who breathed life into you. You bear his image, which means you have inherent dignity, value, and purpose. Every human being reflects something of God's nature. God didn't create you and then abandon you. He placed you in this world with purpose. Like Adam, you're called to steward what God has given you. Your talents, your relationships, your resources, your time, everything is a trust from God. The question isn't whether you were created with intention. The question is how you'll respond to that truth. Will you honor God with the life he's designed for you? Will you embrace your role as his image bearer? The same God who spoke galaxies into existence knows your name and has a purpose for your life. That's not just a nice thought. That's the foundation of everything.